From North London lights to the Mersey rain, to sky blue nights when the champions reign. Three voices arise when the whistle blows. Same beautiful game, different colors we chose. Football is life. Win, lose, and argue all night. From the terrace to the mic, football is life.
Hey folks, welcome to our latest episode of Football is Life. We've, as you can tell, we've upgraded there. We've got the fingers out. Here we go. You can see there's a couple of gooners that are ready for the game. We've got, just under 3 hours to kick off.
Indeed.
Yes, but we're not going to start with a game.
No.
We thought
Once again, on an Arsenal match day, another club steals it with manager news.
Yes, so we're going to have to spend maybe 5 minutes talking about Arne Slot's departure from Liverpool. Not massively shocking in terms of but yeah, there's some things to pick out. My phone's been lighting up, and I think we need to just hit the main talking points. So I'm going to obviously, from a Liverpool perspective, give my view. Would love to get Billy and Mike's views on this as well. I've been quite consistent, I think, in terms of I felt like we should probably stick with him. I don't want to get into this merry-go-round. I think he won the league last year. I don't enjoy the football that he's bringing, but yes, that was what I felt we were going to do. That's what I felt we should do. It seems like the fact that he's lost the fan base, and I had this feeling that he maybe started to lose some of the dressing room with maybe the departures of or the way that those senior players, Roberts and Salah, have been treated, and maybe some of the decisions. I know I heard Szoboszlai wasn't happy playing out of position a lot and felt that was unnecessary. So anyway, look, it's all culminated in Arne Slot leaving Liverpool. It didn't say by mutual consent. We don't know. No more details right now. Quite raw. The strong rumor is Iraola is the next in line. The chat that I've been getting really is around about, well, why would they not get like Alonso? And I kind of say to people, I'm like, look, this is not something that they've just done as a snap decision, right? Like, if they wanted Alonso, I believe he would have been at Liverpool, right? In terms of if Alonso, like everyone said, he would prefer Liverpool, he's an ex-Liverpool player. I heard that he maybe wanted to be in London and not up north. That does factor in. People forget this, right? Sometimes they're human beings. Like, we all have jobs, and location does matter. It can be a factor, right? So yeah, I just believe that either we didn't want him or he didn't want to come to us, because if he wanted to come and we wanted him, he would be the Liverpool manager, and they would have just said, look, Javi, we're going to do it at the end of the season. So I think that's a bit of a moot point. I think Iraola it's a risk. I again, in terms of the football we'll see, I do love that's the type of manager that I would want. But yeah, he's not a top tier manager. Then the optimist in me is well, if PSG win tonight, then Luis Enrique is like, I've completed everything. Maybe he'll come to Liverpool. I don't know. So yeah, that would be obviously, I think, any club's choice of manager probably right now would be Luis Enrique if you asked anyone. So yes, it's a bit. I do feel a bit sorry for Slot. I was saying that before. I think actually the way he's dealt with things, I think he is partly accountable. I think he didn't handle things well. But I do feel bad because I feel like he did come in and deliver a league title, which is no mean feat. And I know we can all talk about it. It wasn't his team. The culture was established. Yes, I get all those points. It's not easy to do. It doesn't happen often. So I do feel bad for him that he didn't get the third season. But I think it's probably the way things went down versus, okay, we finished 4th or 5th or whatever it was. We got Champions League football. Like, it was a bad season and a forgettable one. But I almost feel it was a way that he handled himself, particularly from like December onwards, probably defined the outcome. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you leaning towards right decision, or do you lean towards maybe we should have stuck? And what do you think?
Go ahead, Billy.
As you can see around my neck here, I'm a big fan of trusting the process.
Trust the process.
He's obviously lost the dressing room, and he's lost the fan base, and I think it's hard to see the vision after that. But I would have preferred that you keep the manager, especially after losing what I think was the number one target in the managerial position. Almost immediately, like they didn't even try. It feels like, and if he's been such a, I don't know, I don't want to say bad manager, but such a bad manager for the past 6 months at least, and Alonso's been available, like why haven't you made the effort? Why have you done it right after he's been signed?
Interesting timing, Mike. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's we were talking about it on a pod a few weeks ago, right? Like Waza was very vocal that like if they didn't get rid of him, he was out by Christmas, and so I'm not surprised. The timing's weird, but I'm not surprised. I guess the good news is now Liverpool's going to have the entire summer run up to get themselves sorted with the new manager and all of that. But yeah, I not surprised necessarily, but yeah, just I don't know. I think it was all the bridges were burned at this point. Like the fans are gone, the locker room clearly, like it wasn't just Salah, and so I just think ownership's going, you can't fix this, so it's time to move on.
Yeah, I think that's the conclusion that they had to have come to. They said it was an end of season review. I feel like he's just come up short with not having the answers. That there's been a bunch of factors in terms of injuries, Diogo Jota's death. Like there has been a lot of. Like again, I don't make excuses. It's more like I go, like, okay, well you can go. Well, let's not completely write him off as a coach. I think it's more. Look, you've only got what you've got, and there's been times where you go like I just think he's not given us any confidence that he's got the answers, and I think that's where fans start to lose faith, as well as the football being very pedestrian and boring. And look, he's saying he's not coaching them to do that. He has said those things, but then it's kind of like, well, there's a disconnect, and I think that's your point, Bill. And again, I don't know if he's. I mean, we dramatize because we like to. Thought about losing the dressing room. I think there's a disconnect between. Clearly something's not working there. And again, like you said, Mike, I think they must have reflected and said, you know what? Yeah, I don't think this is a matter like if Luis Enrique became available and they just sacked him and got him, you might be like, well, it's just because a better guy's there.
Right.
This feels like we don't have confidence. My worry, I was speaking to a guy, my neighbor who's a Liverpool fan at the gym. My worry was, I was like, they were going to stick with him and then not really back him because they didn't trust him in the summer. And I think that would have been worse. And we don't want to give him too much money. You know what I mean? That I was really worried that they go in the middle. And like, look, if you're going to back him and you think he's the guy, you just got to keep going. Or you say no, we don't believe he's the guy. I think that's clearly what the belief is. And well, look, wish him the best luck. Be interesting to see where he pops up next. I'm sure he will get, because he will, one of those managers. I think he will get another job. He's got a good reputation, I think, generally speaking, in terms of being a competent coach. We'll see if he goes back to back to his homeland, back to Holland, or whether he gets something, in the Premier League. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Maybe he'll end up at Bournemouth. I'm sure they wouldn't take him with the brand of football, but we'll see. But listen, look, enough of that. We'll do next week. We'll do a full end of season review. Today is all about Arsenal. As much as I hate it, it is all about Arsenal. I think I need to text Waz. I know he's not on. He said Patrick Malarkey had a question that I probably need to get to, which will, again, he's been a bit better, so let's hope it's not a stupid one. But at the run up to the game, good news. And again, on the face of it, everyone's fit. So Timber's been announced back. Hakimi, Dembele. Now again, how fit they are, they're playing. They're going to play, right? So we don't know. So there is a question. What I would be saying, keeping an eye on those three players. I don't expect Dembele or Hakimi to last 90 minutes. Timber, I don't even know if he'll start. With Arteta's cautious, I think he doesn't usually just pop guys straight in. So that'll be interesting to look out for the lineups. The big question marks, again, I've had these, sometimes in the build up to a big game or whatever, you have these just like these epiphanies or just like gut feelings. So I remember when Declan Rice, remember the free kicks he scored in the Champions League? I put a bet on it. I don't know why. I just was so sure Declan Rice would score that night. I don't know why. Now, I have the same feeling about Eze tonight. I don't know why. But my question is, do you think he will start Eze or Zubimendi tonight? That's the big question that I know your reaction, and I understand because
I don't think either of them start. I think Lewis Skelly and Trossard start.
So you think he's going to play Lewis Skelly with Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard?
Yes.
Wow.
I think Lewis Skelly gets the start, but I don't know about
Wow.
As a Trossard. I think Lewis.
I
Kelly
could go.
proved
I mean,
his-
I would prefer Eze over Trossard to start, but
Not on the left
absolutely
wing.
Lewis Skelly over Zubimendi.
Oh,
Absolutely.
right. Yeah. No, that's interesting. I didn't think about Lewis Skelly because I just thought, because Zubimendi to me is more of a, given that looking at PSG's midfield and their attacking prowess is more, he's not going to play Eze in the middle with Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard.
No, and that's why I think, when he started to trust Lewis Skelly, it was because Zubimendi under the press was making horrible backward half passes that were getting intercepted and resulting in goals. And Skelly's going to be better against that press.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So how are you? What are confidence levels like tonight? I want to get a sense. Being a fan's very different. Obviously, I don't have any skin in the game. I can enjoy the game and just watch it for what it is. It's very different, obviously, when you're in your situation. So how's the mood? How's your mood? How's your confidence level, Billy? Are you still glass half empty? Just being consistent, or what? How are we feeling about tonight? How confident are we?
I'm definitely 30-70 in the PSG are winning camp. Okay.
Why?
If Timber had a month's more fitness and I knew he was starting, I would feel so much better about playing against Kvaratskhelia. But he's been the heartbeat of the team for the entirety of the knockouts, and I don't like Mosquera against him. I don't like Ben White against him. I think he's injured anyways.
Yeah, Ben White's not playing.
Hincapié, could he play there? No,
I don't want Hincapié playing on the other side, because then you have Doué on the you got Doué on the left.
What about Calafiori?
So the predicted lineup,
I think he's more of an attacking.
He's good defensively. No, he's all right, isn't he?
He's good defensively, but I think when you have ideally, if you have Lewis Skelly playing, he's kind of like dropping in a little more sometimes, and it comes like a three at the back, and Hincapié is playing like left wing or center forward half the time.
All the predicted lineups I've seen have Calafiori and Timber starting.
Wow.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's the back four you want with Gabriel and Saliba, right? Like that's the back four.
That's your best back four. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
But it really is going to come down to like Timber hasn't played in so long, and
he must be confident though.
He must be, and I have a feeling that he may have been ready for the last game of the season, and there was just no way that Arteta was going to tip his hand. We didn't need the win. He's, you're gonna bill him as he's not ready, and so I have a feeling he may have been practicing a little bit more than we've been led on to, which is vintage Arteta in terms of like he's not going to tell the media anything. And if that's the case, then he's right to start, but just don't get injured. Don't get injured.
Yeah. So Mike, so Billy's 70-30 to PSG. So he's not all hope is lost. His Arsenal have a chance, but he thinks he feels like the likely outcome is PSG win. Are you in the same, or do you feel it's closer?
60-40, 50-50. I'm super nervous. Like I am going to be watching this match from behind the couch. I want the win so bad. It's just like you can taste it, and it's going to be a nervy 90 minutes. I think, in the quintessential, sports overstated things, like that first goal is going to be so like emotionally huge. And I think they can win. I think it really comes down to who starts in that back four because of the offensive threat that PSG has. But I don't. This is a different team than the one last year that played these guys, right? And I feel like they have a much more legitimate chance to win. And on the back of having now they're champions of England, like there's a different. You can see the swagger that they have now is so different than last year when it was we're top of the table and we're doing all these things and then lose it at the end. There's a different mindset, which I think is huge, but this is not going to be a light test.
Yeah. Would it be fair to say, being objective, that the best thing for this game would be an early PSG goal in terms of a spectacle?
In terms of a spectacle as a neutral, yes.
Yeah, you
In
but you
terms of
understand why I'm saying
Arsenal
that. You
fans,
understand.
Screw you.
I think that's terrible for Arsenal, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. To me, it isn't. It isn't. Like, it's like, because do you know why it isn't? Because then you see how good you are, right? And you see how good this Arsenal team can be. So the reason I say that is, if the opposite happens, we all know how the game will go, right? And it will be. I mean, look, you could still, you'll be delighted if they win 1-0. Who cares? 1-0 to the Arsenal. But in terms of, like, it won't be a good game to watch, right? It will be boring, and they'll make it that way deliberately, and they do that a lot. So, yeah, I do think, I just wanted, I do think that's a fair observation that is, and I actually have a feeling that you'll win tonight, and it's not, let's say, it's not particularly based on like anything other than just like you say, it's those intangibles. I think this PSG team are really good. I don't think they're as good as they were. Like they're not quite.
There's a little bit of a flip between those two teams in terms of depth, and
a little bit, and it's margins, right? And I think, look, the thing that will determine it, and I think you said having the Premier League, if they lost that, I was saying
forget it.
Yeah, I do think going into this that they'll have that confidence. My worry, though, is just it's how they handle the nerves of the occasion. I think one thing is that is not going to be an issue for these PSG guys, because they've been there and done it.
Yep.
So I do think it's going to be interesting. What I expect to happen is them to start fast. I'm interested to see if Arsenal can match that. If they can start, if they can match it and give them problems early, or whether it's whether the first 15 minutes get through. And I actually think that's the thing. I just think it. Under Arteta, I think, unfortunately, like, unless PSG score early, I think the way that the way that Arsenal are going to win this game, it's not going to be pretty, and it will be by being defensively really, really good and being hard to break down. And then it just comes down to those moments, like, whether it's a corner, free kick, even just a moment of quality. And I have this feeling that Eze, I don't know why, I need to wait for the lineup. If he's starting, I'm going to put a bet on, because I just have a feeling, because I just think he is a player that shows up in moments. And I think PSG, like, from the edge of the area, I think you can get, like, I think there's chances there. I think, I think they do. They're really good in midfield, but I think that's if I look at the matchups, I was talking to somebody the other day. I said, look, if I was to say to you, what Arsenal players get into the PSG team? So I've got a strong opinion on this.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think? And then I'll give you mine.
From the front three, or just in general?
So the whole 11.
Yeah. So I think Declan Rice is poised to have the game of his career.
Okay. So Declan Rice is one that gets in, probably ahead of João Neves for me. He's the only one that gets into midfield for me. The thing is, the only, because I think Vitinha would start for Arsenal. I think Fabian Ruiz is he is one of the best players in world football. He's unbelievably good. David Raya, to me, obviously gets in, right? Back four is interesting, because I think Marquinhos and Gabriel would be the two. I wouldn't have Saliba. Marquinhos has been as good as Gabriel in the Champions League. He has been next level for them. It's not a slight on William Saliba. It's just Gabriel. I would take him over Saliba. I don't know if that's controversial, but it is what it is.
No, I think 3 or 4 years ago, like, there was a time when Saliba was the guy, and you could tell that he was calling that line and really running the show.
Not anymore.
Over the last couple of years, it's pivoted, and Gabriel is absolutely the general of that back line. And
Nuno Mendes, to me, he gets straight into the Arsenal team. He's better than it. I think the Timber Hakimi debate is interesting. And I don't know. I could go either way on that one. I could go either way. What do you think, Billy?
That one's way less interesting. I think the left back's more interesting. Hakimi's better by a landslide.
You think so?
Hakimi is the best right back in world football by a country mile.
You agree, Mike?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And Nuno Mendes, would you put Calafiori in ahead of him?
I would put. I think it's a debate between Nuno Mendes and Hincapié, and I would probably side with Hincapié. Or sorry, with Nuno Mendes. But...
And then my hottest take is, not one of Arsenal's front three get into PSG's team. Not even Saka.
It's not even remotely a hot take.
Is it not? Is that?
No,
is that
I think it's a hotter take to not put Saliba in, because I think if you look at the stats from the Champions League this season, we have the best defense, and it's not even like
Yeah, it's
Like,
not close.
we've conceded 6 goals and they've conceded 22.
Mhm.
So as much as Marquinhos is a fantastic defender, I would take Saliba any day.
Okay, but you agree, Mike? You're okay with Saka not getting in?
I mean, compared to that front three, and
Probably doesn't.
on current form,
Probably
No.
doesn't, does he? I know it's when I was thinking about it, it's actually mad. So
it's current form though. I mean,
Yeah.
2 years
Yeah,
ago,
yeah.
I would have an argument, but Saka hasn't been
Yeah.
the injuries piled up with him this season, and he's his performance this season isn't Saka like.
No, but the thing is, the reason I did that exercise, and I thought through it, so I was trying to think like logically, where do I think this game will be won and lost? I think the midfield. You mentioned Declan Rice. I think that's enormous. I think Odegaard, if he is as sometimes ponderous to me and just takes it, like he needs to play faster
and forward.
Correct. So I think he, but again, I think it is funny. I was thinking that because I was thinking, I fancy Odegaard for a goal because he's not really scored, but he does have that. Like,
he's got it in his locker.
And also sometimes these finals, it's not the guy you expect sometimes.
Yep.
I just think that midfield battle is going to be, I think, because mid to front, they are better than you. Like there's no doubt, like they are. But defensively, you said, Billy, like that's, so it is going to be this interesting, but I do believe that I do believe Declan Rice can go and do what Gerrard did. He's got that quality. If he can just go, I'm just going to go, because he's physically dominant.
Yes.
And I'm going to be so fascinated to watch him. Yeah, to watch him play tonight. I think that's going to be key in terms of the midfield. But I do think he's going to start Kai Havertz, right? That's the other debate I was having. Like Gyökeres isn't starting. Is that fair?
It's got to be Kai Havertz.
Yeah, Billy. No, Billy's Gabriel
Jesus. It's a toss-up, I think, who starts. Not Gabby Jesus. No.
do you know why I was thinking like Gyök is, if I think about I don't rate Gyökeres that high. I think he's very average, right? He's a blunt instrument. But when I've seen him for Sporting, like, when I go, whoa, you kind of look and go, wow, the common denominator is just green grass to run into.
Mm-hmm.
And I do feel like tonight, if PSG are the protagonists, they're the front foot, that does lean into like those balls and into the channels for him, which to me is his. Havertz, I understand why he likes Havertz. Havertz is a little bit of he's an all-rounder. He can do a bit of hold up. He can do a bit of everything. He's not elite at anything. He can just do a bit of everything. But, Billy, what do you think? No, I don't like.
I've changed my mind. I want Gyökeres to start because I was complaining about this in, I think, Arsenal's second to last match of the season, and Havertz was playing everywhere but center forward.
Yep,
he was everywhere but center forward, and I think you need the way this team is playing these days. We keep like whipping in balls from wide, and then there's nobody in the box to get the ball. So I'd rather have Gyökeres start as an actual center forward, and he's not the best striker in the world, but he has some of the best hold up play from strikers that I've seen personally.
Mm-hmm.
He will win you a free kick at half field,
yes,
5 times a match minimum.
Yep,
and help us get out of the half if we're under pressure. So I think he's better at helping the team get up the pitch and hopefully scoring from wide areas.
He's lethal from the spot.
He is just absolutely puts his foot through the ball. But yeah, I think, look, to me, you sign him for that money. Like I do think he's a little bit average. He's not he's a bit basic, but he does have and I just think if the game goes that way, I do think, and I know why Arteta likes Havertz. I'm not a big Havertz fan, but I understand why Arteta likes the qualities that he has because of what Arteta like winning your free kicks, getting you like. Yes, I agree. Whereas Gyökeres is more menacing because he's busy, right? He's more busy.
Marauder, right? Like
he makes a nuisance of himself and he runs about. Yeah. Odegaard does a lot of the press, and he's good at that. So I think that's a really interesting decision. So I do think that there's like 3 interesting decisions. Obviously, there's the Jurrien Timber, there's the Lewis Skelly, Zubimendi, Eze conundrum. I just think Trossard's going to start on the left. I don't think you can. I think you have to start Trossard, and then there's the Havertz. Gyökeres one, whereas for PSG, you just know who's going to play, right? You know the lineup. Unless one of these injuries is worse than feet they're letting on, and he's not going to risk them and wants to bring them on, thinks they've only got 30 minutes in their legs. So I think that's going to be I think it's going to be interesting. I need to wait to see the lineups before I maybe make more of a conclusion. I would love to see him go Eze in the middle and just go right, release him and Odegaard and say go toe to toe and just go, because I do think Eze could.
He can be a difference maker.
And I do is Mike. I think he can go toe to toe with these guys.
Yeah.
I think he can cause them real problems. And he is, again. Do you know what it is? You're a bit bigger than them physically, right? And I just think you could go and like that's the only thing about Odegaard. Like go Eze, Rice. I would probably, if it was my decision, wouldn't play Odegaard. I'd play Eze, Rice, and Lewis Skelly, and say, right, boys, let's go and roll them over in the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Odegaard is neat and tidy, and I know he sets the press. I know he's a big like trigger for your press. I just think, my worry is he sometimes can get lost when the game's quick. And I think Eze's better defensively. Like I actually think Eze can tackle. He's a better tackler than like counter pressing, like actually winning the ball back than Odegaard. And he's really good from distance, like both feet. So we'll see what happens. Look, I mean, it's going to be a fantastic game. So it's midday Eastern time for you guys, right? So which is How do you stateside feel about? Because they used to be 8, so it's early, so it's great for the kids here. 5 o'clock UK time. How do you guys feel? How do the Americans feel about the 12 p.m. kickoff? Is that good or is it a bad thing? Rather than like 3.
I think it's on a Saturday. I think it's fine. Like it's
okay.
Perfect to be piling into the supporter pubs and whatnot. So noon is fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'd hate it to be on the West Coast, but
yes,
I mean, I don't mind being here. 9 a.m. would be tough.
Yeah, that would be tough. Okay. So predictions, guys. I'm going to pin you down for a prediction. What's the score going to be tonight? Is it going to be 1-0 to the Arsenal? 1-0 to the Arsenal? Or what do we think? Go on, right, predict. So you can give a head and heart prediction, Billy. I know you're gonna toil with this. You'll take 10 minutes to make a decision. Like you can give me a head, which is probably going to be a bad result, and then a heart. What do we think? Come on, boys.
3-1 PSG, and then my heart would love a 2-1 Arsenal.
That's all I'm going with is 2-1 Arsenal.
Okay, I know it's split, but I just think it's going to be like 1-0. I think they might make it a really. I'm going to go 1-0 Arsenal. Eze to score. I mean, it could easily be Gabriel. I mean, you wouldn't be shocked, right?
Right. Bite your hand off for it.
Oh no, look. I think they'll. If I was, I think Luis Enrique, they'd be like, watch out for this in the game. Be interested to see how they defend the wings, like trying to avoid corners. Like I do think that there's an element of like we'd rather than be swinging crosses into the box in open play, because if you've got Havertz or Gyökeres there, you can deal with those guys, right? Yeah. It's the so I do think that's going to be really interesting to see how, because Enrique did this. What was he did it against Liverpool? He did something. He is a clever. He is like that, very in the details. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to be watching to see how do they deliberately kind of go. Yeah, 100%. Because I do think that they don't match up very well for like just height wise. They've got a real problem. Yeah. But they are. I mean, this is where Marquinhos I think has been outstanding. This against Liverpool, like we should have scored. He had got like the Gabriel blocks and stuff. He's been playing at that level, and the boy Pacho has looked like a good foil. I know he's younger, but I think having that experienced guy helps. So, listen, we'll see what happens. We will see. Exciting times. Could be could be
nervy times. Squeaky bum time in the Blanchett household.
Mike, promise me you're gonna sit in the couch. I don't mind you sitting in the edge of the couch, right? Think about this, right? You've got to believe and go, do you know what? You could do. Look, you've already won the Premier League, so regardless what happens today, think of this as a free hit. But this is the cherry on top, right? If you can do it, try and enjoy it, right? Try and enjoy it, right? That's what I want you to try. I know it's hard. I know it's easy for me to say that. It's not easy. But try and just get out from behind the couch, watch it, enjoy it, believe. Let's see what can happen. I've been there with Liverpool. We got beat by Real Madrid, and it's flat. And then we won it against Spurs. And, I know the emotions. And let's see. It could be a very famous night tonight. We'll see what happens.
Would be epic. What a double this could be.
What a double indeed.
Yeah.
What a double. Yeah. So any other key matchups you've mentioned, the PSG forward line, like where would you say, if you're as an Arsenal fan, where are you most worried in terms of your team? Like, where do you see the weak, like the matchups? Like you mentioned some of the wingers. It sounded like you guys again. Timber plays maybe less so, but like, where do you think that you are worried in terms of some matchups on the pitch to look out for when we're watching the game?
I think it's definitely the midfield for sure. Like
Okay.
their midfield is just like super, super strong. And do we play attacking or like on your heels defensively? And it's, yeah, it's another trite saying, right? It's won or lost in the midfield, but it's just like their midfield is very scary.
Okay. Billy, in terms of, PSG play a 3 up front, right? So that they don't really have like a number 9 as such. They don't have a Gyökeres, right? That type of player. Saliba and Gabriel have been, defensively dominant this year, right? So is there any concern of how do you think PSG are going to cause you problems with, given the fact David Raya is in the probably best form of anyone in the world right now? Like, do you try? Do you not just trust your defense to deal with it, or where is it? Is it in the wings that you worry more about versus through the middle?
I think it's the wings I worry about more than the middle for sure. But I'd be interested to see what Enrique does with, assuming Dembele starts at center forward. Because I feel like his role might just be trying to drag Saliba or Gabriel out of position for half the match, and that would be a problem.
Yep.
But I do think it's the wings. I think that's the key matchup today. It's can Calafiori / Nketiah and Timber / Mosquera deal with Doué and Kvaratskhelia, and the head says no.
I mean, he is just.
I was talking to Alfie, my oldest son. I was saying, and Alfie plays right back, right? And I said, Alfie, see Dembele. I said, maybe it's because he's smaller. I don't rate him that highly, right? I said that to Alfie. I said, see, if I was an Arsenal player, I wouldn't be losing any sleep over coming up against him. I said, see Doué and Kvaratskhelia, I would be like losing sleep. I would like, how am I going to deal? Like the two of them are just like unbelievable. Like I don't. Do you know what it is? It's that they're obviously brilliant, skillful, but they're powerful. Like they're not like that's the thing. Like you go with Dembele, you could just use your physicality. You can like, to me, I think
Gabriel's not going to get bowled over by Dembele.
Yeah, but you're just like, but you think I think his job will be to create that space to get those one-on-ones out wide to really cause the problems. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how Arsenal deal with that situation and how disciplined they can be. So yes, I just hope Declan Rice doesn't get sucked into like a really defensive role tonight, and you don't get to see him on the ball, because I think that would be a real shame. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Okay, well, we'll try and keep that short. We'll probably call it there. Well, how long are we in there? At 30 minutes? That feels about right, lads. So look, we've good preview. We'll be on next week. We're going to do a full season debrief review before we switch focus to the World Cup, which is coming up obviously quite quickly in June, in a couple of weeks. Very exciting. Is stateside. Are you going to any games, boys? Did you manage to get tickets in the lottery?
Didn't get tickets in the lottery. However, I just happened to have a team meeting that is happening during the semifinals in Atlanta. I don't know how this happened, but we're going to play it by ear and see what we do that week, and we'll see. But I do not have tickets for anything right now.
No.
And I mean the Boston site has got some belter teams, but if you know Foxborough, it is the worst place in the world to drive in and out of. It is a nightmare. Warning to anyone going there, it is the worst. Take the train, because it's one road in and out, and it is hell.
It's hell, yeah. So I mean, obviously the biggest team in the world are playing there, Scotland.
Right.
We're at 2 games at Foxborough against the mighty Haiti and then Morocco. And then we go to Miami to play Brazil, which will be fantastic. We're actually winning, watching the background, 3-1 against Curacao just out. But I was trying to get tickets for one of the Boston games, but it's just been a nightmare. So again, I'm hoping last minute somebody locally might go Scotland Haiti, don't fancy it. I'll be over at Foxborough like that if I can. I'll take Alfie over. That's what I'd love to do. But yes, if not, we'll be having a party here, watching it here. But we're excited for the World Cup. We'll get to all that later, because tonight we have to give you your flowers. It's all about Arsenal. They're in the Champions League final versus PSG. We need to leave it with positivity, boys. Can they do it, Mike?
Yes, they can do it.
Can I give me a hell yeah? Yes, they can do it. They can, Billy, they're gonna do it. Come on, Billy. Believe.
Hakimi game-winning goal.
Come on, they're gonna do it, Billy. Yeah, the Gooners are gonna do it.
He's gonna reverse mush it, and that's gonna be the secret. That's gonna be the secret.
My anthem for a week and a half, Rob.
I've been humming that all week.
So funny. Well, listen, boys, good to chat. Enjoy the game. Right. Yes, I think Colin, my son's got a PSG tie. He wants PSG to win. My dad was an Arsenal fan. He was a Gooner. So I'm just going to enjoy the game, mate. I don't particularly mind what the result is, but obviously for you guys, obviously would like it to be. I know most people don't want Arsenal to win because of the noise levels, but yeah, look,
socials will be
will be brutal,
merciless.
I just want, all I hope is this. Wish both teams the best. I hope it's a great game. Look, I know we're spoiled with the Bayern PSG games. I just hope the game lives up to the standard because both teams are excellent. So let's see what happens. And yeah. As always, thanks to everyone for listening, and we will catch you next week for our end of season breakdown before we then switch to World Cup build-up. So enjoy the game, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
From the terrace to the mic, football is life.